What's up? What's up? What's going on, everybody? What is going on, everybody? All right, y'all. What's up? What's up? This isn't going to be very long, and I know I say that quite a bit. I say that because we got stuff to do today. We got stuff to do today. But I want to make sure to get on here and answer some questions from folks. Answer some questions and hopefully help some people out. Quite a few people today aren't feeling it. They're just not feeling it. Oh, that's gonna get on my nerves. With the music. Let me turn that off, actually. I'm gonna, there we go. When I don't have music playing in the background, I'll turn on the speech chat bot or whatever it's called. But when I have music going, I'd rather just have the music going and I can just read your questions and yeah. Anyway, yeah, I'm just chilling, y'all. Just having a good time. It's Thursday, one day closer to Friday, which is one day closer to the weekend for a lot of people. And a lot of people are happy about that. I'm pretty happy about it too. Although now with 2020 being what it is, it doesn't really, for me anyway, it's like every day is a weekend, but still out here trying to grind, still trying to get it done. And yeah, staying afloat and just staying positive, man, trying to stay positive, trying to keep a cool head. You know, trying to let people know it's not as bad. It's not as bad out there as people think it is. You know, it's funny because shout out to Funk Shop and everybody out there. Man, hanging out with you guys for the last, however long we've been hanging out. Feels pretty good. Only for the simple fact that it's like a camaraderie, right? A lot of people don't know what camaraderie is. But it's like a togetherness, it's like a pact, right? When people make pacts, that's kind of what it's like when you have like a group of people that you respect and and it's fun to hang out with and all of that goodness. But yeah, it's one of those things. It's good people. It's very, very it's good people. It's good hanging out, and it's good to surround yourself with people, like-minded people, you know what I mean? Like,
I see dead people.
Oh shit. Well, I mean, if you're somebody like that, then, it is what it is. Anyway, yeah, I'm just chilling. It's the Q&A. It's the Q&A with the D, which would be me, your boy, Dwayne. And it's Q&A with the D. So basically what it is people sending questions, asking my opinion on things, asking what I think about stuff, and I give them my opinion. Sometimes it's a harsh opinion. Sometimes it's an easy to accept opinion. But the thing is that I'm truthful with my opinions, with the mindset of not trying to hurt anybody's feelings. right? Not trying to ruffle feathers. But you know how they say when someone asks questions, you have to be prepared for the answer, right? You have to be prepared for the answer. And sometimes the answer isn't always going to be what you like, right? Sometimes the answer is not always going to be that. Sometimes people ask questions not really wanting the truth, right? And people are like, oh, ask my question, ask this question. I already have the 6 picked out before I start the stream. So let's get right into it. I have 1,000,001 things on my mind right now. So that's why that's why I haven't said much yet, because I'm still trying to get in my mental mind frame to answer these dang questions. And so, yeah, because some of these questions are not heavy questions, but I already know. I mean, there's a couple people I know that are asking, because usually they just send in their first name and the last initial of their name. I got a hair in my eye right now. And so, I don't put anybody on blast. I don't do any of that. I just answer the questions. And if they get mad, they get mad. You know what I mean? Like, calm down. It's okay. I just answer their questions. And sometimes I don't like it. Sometimes I do. And but I give them my opinion. It's an honest opinion, right? It's an honest like this is what I think. And I would be doing a disservice if I didn't say my opinions honestly, right? And sometimes it's hard, sometimes it's not. But when you're being honest, people appreciate it. So I'm going to hop right into these questions right now. All I know is if you get, because there's going to be a couple people watching right now that I know sent in these 2 questions, and I know they're going to be watching. So I'll do my best to not offend, but I can't help how someone receives what you're saying, right? So it's like someone saying, do you like, for instance, beats? We were talking about beats yesterday and not Dr. Dre beats and not musical beats. I'm just talking about beets, the vegetable. And people were like, do you like beets? And I'm like, nah, I don't like beets. I don't like beets at all. But for someone who does like beets and you say, oh, I don't like beets, they're like, what do you mean you don't like beets? And I'm like, I don't like beets. I'm sorry. My bad. My fault. So my fault. But anyway, so I'm going to get to these questions. And I know on my other stream, I had the scenes set up to where the questions popped up on the screen and all that kind of stuff, but not today. So, one of the questions that came in from Anonymous, I'll show you on the phone right there. I know it's backwards, but one of the questions says from Anonymous. So I truly don't know who this is, but how do you find yourself when you feel lost? It's a good question. And for me, when it comes to when I feel lost or something like that, I have to first think, what is it that's making me feel lost? Like, you have to remember the point to where you didn't feel lost and then you felt lost, right? So there has to be some form or some kind of a transition period. It could be that because of the time that we're in with COVID and so much time on your hands, and you didn't realize that. And well, it could be the COVID, and then because of COVID, you're not working. And then you have a lot of time on your hands and you realize you had more time to do things that you liked that you wouldn't normally have known because you were working all the time. And so with all this extra time, you sit here and you're like, man, I feel lost. I don't have a direction. I don't feel I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And it's different for everybody. But I feel that everybody every once in a while has a feeling of being lost, right? Everybody every once in a while has a feeling of, I don't know which direction I'm going. It's almost like when like horse riders, right? Life is like the horse and you're just going through life. But the horse rider is the one that controls the direction, right? The person who rides the horse is the one that controls the direction. So without direction, you're just riding around. You don't know where you're going. You have nobody to direct the ship, you know? And so I think when it comes to feeling lost, you first have to wonder, why do you feel lost? What is it that's making you feel lost? Are you absorbing too much negative energy? Are you, what is it you think is making you feel that way? And sometimes people don't know. Sometimes people don't know why they feel lost or what it is that's making them feel lost. And I think when those times come up, I always say, spend time with yourself. I always say, spend time with yourself trying to figure out what it is that has you in this funk and why didn't you feel this funk earlier? Or maybe you did and you tried to ignore it and push it back and it just made itself more prevalent. And I think that once you do that, you can start working your way out of it. You can start putting in position and plans to work yourself out of the hole, right? So it's like you're stuck in a hole and you build a ladder to climb out of that hole. And I mean, it's a good thing to do. It's a great thing to do. Mental health, I talked about it, I think the day before yesterday. Mental health is a very, very important thing. If we keep going on ignoring things that get on our nerves or ignoring things that we really should be paying attention to, then it becomes an issue, right? It becomes something that it ends up spiraling out of control if we don't take care of it, right? But on the other hand, if you do take some time to yourself, sit down and just ask yourself, what is it that's bugging me? And then let your mind do what it does. Let it do what it does. Whatever comes into your mind, write it down. The art form of writing things down has like almost, it's just a little heartbeat right now. Instead of like, it's almost like it's a taboo thing to do, is write stuff down, write your thoughts down, right? What happened to diaries and journals and things like that? Like, nobody really does that anymore for whatever reason. Even myself, I find myself, I write down my thoughts and things like that. Like when I wake up in the morning, I write down my thoughts. I try to write down anything I remember from sleeping. Sometimes it doesn't make sense, and it doesn't have to, because it'll make sense maybe somewhere down the road. And then part of my procedure when I get ready for bed is you spend time with yourself and let your mind wander, and you try to clear your head before you sleep. I write down anything that's on my mind still that I wasn't able to process during the day. And then I just kind of go from there. Right? But when you're just feeling in a funk and you're feeling out of it and you feel lost, just remember, sometimes we have to get lost to find ourselves again. It's not necessarily a bad thing to get lost. It's not a bad thing to get lost. I've been lost many, many times. Many times. But eventually you find your way back. And for whatever reason, when you find your way back, you turn around and you look to where you came from. And you're like, man, okay, I got this. It was just a little rough patch in your journey. That's all. First things first is, when you're feeling lost, don't beat yourself up. Realize that you're lost and live in that for a second. Live in that for just a second. And then think in your mind, grab a sheet of paper, a pen, a pencil. I like writing with pencils. And then write down what's in your head, even if it doesn't make sense. Write down what's in your head. You'll be surprised on how much that helps. You'll be surprised on how much it helps. I promise you that. It does a world of wonders, man. It's the thing is you can't try to tackle everything all at once, right? They always say Rome wasn't built overnight and all this other stuff, and some say Rome is still getting built. Certain places, you can't beat yourself up. Give yourself some time to be lost. Live in that sense of being lost. Live in that wonder just for a second. Embrace it. Write down your thoughts, and then slowly you'll start figuring out ways to overcome whatever it is that's holding you back. So whoever wrote that question in, thank you very much. I appreciate it. It was a good question because I think we all feel lost sometimes. And it was a great question. All right. Settle down. Okay. Next question. From April L. April L, as in Larry. Where do you think insecurities come from? Where do I think insecurities come from? That's a good question. Where do I think insecurities come from? Well, I think insecurities, it depends. Insecurities can come from the way you're raised. Insecurities can start at a very, very young age when you start to notice the difference in people. Or insecurities can start in your young adulthood. It just kind of all depends on what kind of insecurities we're talking about. With you, Miss April, now that I think about it, I think I know who this is. So with you, your insecurities come from comparing. This is just you. I'm speaking strictly to you, Miss April. Your insecurities come from trying to compare yourself to all these things that you think is life, right? Like when you're not feeling very good, and then you get on social media like Facebook or Instagram or whatever, and you see things that you think these people are having the greatest life, better than yours, you start to grow insecure. And then it trickles down. It trickles down. You need to be happy with your life. You need to be happy with where you're at. Now, being happy with where you're at doesn't mean you're settling on where you're at. Being happy where you're at doesn't mean you shouldn't want to further your happiness, right? It doesn't mean just to be complacent because you're happy. Now, if you are happy and you want to be complacent because you're good where you're at, that's cool too. That's cool too. But you should always want to be growing and becoming a better version of yourself every single day. That you should want that. Yeah. That would be, now if your insecurities are, if you're tall for a female and people are like, dang, and they're always asking you if you play basketball. Because I get it, and people ask me, are you a football player, or did you used to play football? Yes. I get it. I'm a big guy. But insecurities can come from a multitude of things, man. But I know for you personally, it's because you compare yourself. You compare yourself against people or situations that aren't you. They're not you. You have to be happy with yourself and happy with who you are. And if there's things that you want to change about yourself, you can, but make sure you're doing that for the right reasons. Right? I think sometimes people want to change who they are because they want more attention, or because they want to be accepted, or they need validation, or whatever. The first step is you have to be okay with you. And if you're not, the things that you want to change for the better about you, you need to do that for you and not for anybody else. So that would be my opinion on that. Yeah, that would be my opinion on that. It's a good question, though. Good question. Thank you for sending that in. I appreciate it. That's good. You get one of these right here.
Bounce.
That's right. Good job. Next question sent in by Jennifer S. Jennifer S. as in Sam. Not your last name, but just Jennifer S. as in Sam. Why do you think when a movie star or sports star does something, or wears something, the sheep want to follow? Why do you think when a movie star or sports star does or wears something, the sheep want to follow? Now, I'm going to assume that you mean people, and you're calling them sheep, because we kind of do live in a trendy, want to follow the new hotness type of thing, right? We kind of live in that era of when a superstar or a movie star or just somebody who's always in the media who happens to be a star, when they do something or have something, people that aren't on that quote unquote level tend to want that as well. For instance, which I still won't ever understand, like Louis Vuitton, right? Don't understand the obsession with it. I don't understand the obsession with it, but because all these stars and people that others want to be They see like Beyonce. Oh, she got that Louis Vuitton clutch. I want a Louis Vuitton clutch because Beyonce has one. Like, that just leads down the road of other things that aren't so good. It leads down the road of never feeling good enough because you're comparing yourself, right? Just like April, you're comparing yourself to a situation and a lifestyle that's not you. That's why I think people follow these stars and what they do. But hey, one of the biggest things that we follow and want so bad are Jordans, right? Michael Jordan. Gotta have them J's. But why? What is it that makes you want to get those J's? Now it's on reputation, right? The Jordan brand has been around for a long time. Now it's just those are J's, those are Jordans. It's just known that those are J's. I'm getting the new J's that come out. All because a very talented man, arguably the best basketball player that's ever strapped him up on an NBA court, has his own shoe. And people, just like, remember the commercials back in the day, want to be like Mike. The want to be like Mike commercials. Like Mike, if I can be like Mike. Yeah. So I think when it comes to certain things, people want, especially people that don't have a whole lot or think they don't have a whole lot, they want to grasp on to something that represents I'm cool. Something that represents stuff that they don't have. Right? When I was younger, I wanted all these cars, houses, big houses, and all this other stuff, not realizing that all that material stuff can be taken away tomorrow. And that big ass $4, $5, $6 million house that everyone dreams about getting, they don't think about property tax. They don't think about the real life shit that comes with it. They don't think about the upkeep of a $6 to $9 million home. They don't understand that. You just want the stuff. You want it until you get it. And then realize, oh shit, I have to take care of this. Yep. That's how it is. So, in my opinion, I think the reason why people like to follow what movie stars and actors and famous YouTubers, the reason why they go out and they get the Gucci and the Louis Vuitton and the whatever. I don't know any more but those two because I don't care about material stuff. Like, material stuff doesn't mean nothing to me. But is it nice to have nice clothes? Yeah, absolutely. Does it feel good to maybe wear something that's quality or whatever? As I clench onto my this is my damn Slurpee icy shirt. You know what I mean? Does it feel good when you have some high quality clothes on? Yeah, it does. But does it change who you are as a person? Does it make you any better of a person? Does it play any role on your character? No, not really. And this is, again, this is just my opinion. Just my opinion. But I think people are I think people follow the movie stars and the sports stars with material things because it's part of a lifestyle that they wish they can live. And that's just my opinion. That's just me. That's just what I think. So, Jennifer, thank you for the question. I definitely appreciate it. Richard. Richard O. Richard O. I like that. I always like to wonder what their last name is. Richard O. Huh. Oliver? Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, sorry. I'm a nerd like that. I always try to figure things out and yeah. Richard O.
Oh my.
Yeah, Richard O. My. How do you let someone know you're interested in them without feeling dumb? Good question. My answer to that, very simple. In my opinion, just tell them. Just be an adult and say, hey, I find you attractive because of X, Y, and Z. Not just because of physical looks, but maybe you're attracted to their personality as far as their humor or their character. But whatever it is, let them know. Let them know what it is. Just be honest about it. It's not that hard. It's really not. The only reason why a lot of people think it's hard is because they're afraid of rejection. They're afraid of what happens if I tell this person. What are they going to think? Well, it doesn't matter what they think because that's what you think of them. It is what it is. And you can't help who or what you're attracted to. But if you are attracted to it, let it be known. Let it be known. It's just one of those things. Yeah, that's what I would say. Just let it be known. Let it be known. Don't sugarcoat stuff. You know, I think a lot of communication breakdown is because people just don't say what they're feeling. They beat around the bush or they try to throw hints and they want the other person to pick up on the hint and they want everybody to be Sherlock Holmes and try to figure it out. They don't need to be figuring it out. If you're interested in somebody or you find somebody attractive or something like that, just be honest and tell them. Just be honest and say, yo, this is what's in my mind. This is what's in my brain. And as long as you come at somebody the right way and you're not like creeper about it, which there are tons of those in the world. There are tons of those in the world. And they drive me nuts. Creepers drive me insane. But it's all right. A lot of people are afraid to tell others how they feel about them. Because they are afraid that if they do tell somebody their what they think and their thoughts, they're gonna get rejection. They're gonna think the other person's like, how about no? And so then you're like, well, sorry. Now you're feeling like an idiot, right? Nobody wants to feel like an idiot. But I promise you right now, if you just tell the person how you feel, that person, normally 9 times out of 10, I'm not really a statistic type of person as far as stuff like this. But in my opinion, 9 times out of 10, someone will appreciate at least you saying the truth of how you feel versus not saying anything. And then when that person ends up with somebody, you're sitting there bitter and with that resting bitch face because you're mad because you're not the person that the one that you're attracted to is with when you should have just said something in the first place. So when you're interested in somebody, just tell them. Just tell them. What's the worst that's going to happen is they say, thank you very much. I'm not looking at the moment, or I'm interested in somebody else, but I definitely appreciate it. Then you go on with your life. That's it. Be open. Let them know. Let them know, Richard. Next question. Oh, also thank you, Richard. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Oh, another thing. Yesterday, was it yesterday? I don't know. Maybe it was yesterday. I can't remember. Anyway, yesterday or the day before when I was streaming, I think I had something a little similar. Maybe it was last week. I can't remember. With these COVID days and this COVID lockdown stuff, all the days are running together. All the days are running together. But it was something like I had something similar to that as well. And just be open and honest. Just be open and honest. And you can't worry about what someone's going to think. You can't worry about, oh, I'm going to look like an idiot and this, that, and the other. You cannot worry about it. You just can't. If you worry about every little thing that you do and what everyone thought of it, you drive yourself crazy, you know? But also, I mean, you have to like pace yourself. Don't just come at somebody and be like, I really, really like you and this, that, and the other, because that comes at, whoa, now you seem like needy and it's too much. Just be cordial, be an adult and say, hey, I find you attractive and I just would like to get you, I'd like to get to know you better. If that'd be cool. Can we go to lunch? Can we meet up somewhere? Can we hang out? Approach it the right way. Right? But I get it. When you see that person walk in and you're just like, oh my gosh, look at this person right here. As soon as they enter the room, it's like, you know, look at that person. But, you know, in reality, just be honest and just be honest. And don't worry about feeling dumb, because that person that you're being straight up with, for one, might even be impressed because you're telling the truth and you're not beating around the bush. And you might even catch them off guard, which sometimes people like, because they're so used to the mundane. They're so used to turning people down because they're coming at them fake. Women nowadays are smart enough and strong enough, at least hopefully women should be strong enough and smart enough to know when someone's trying to bullshit them or someone's just trying to say something slick. So be confident, go up to somebody and say, hey, I'm interested in getting to know you better. Whatever happens, I'm not sitting here saying we're going to get married. I'm not sitting here saying we're going to be boyfriend and girlfriend. I'm not sitting here saying we're even going to be best friends. But what I am saying is I'd like to get to know you a little bit better because I do find you attractive. And I think that I think you'll fare just fine if you do that. So thank you, Richard, for the question. Christina E. I don't know why that reminds me of Sheena Easton, but anyway. Christina E. In your opinion, what is your definition of attraction? Okay. My definition of attraction. That's a good question. Never a question I've ever been asked before. My definition of attraction is when there's an energy force that for whatever reason heightens your senses of awareness to the emotional side of connection. And I'm going, this is of course human relations. I'm not talking about being attracted to, a certain sport or being attracted to this or that. I'm talking about people, which I'm going to assume, Christina, that this is what you mean, is with people. My definition of attraction is something that you cannot help. It's a feeling that you get that comes to you. It's not something that you can create, in my opinion. Like you can hang out with somebody and develop attraction, I guess, for them if you don't have it right off the bat. Which is a lot of times that's what happens if two people hang out quite a bit and they have a good time with each other and all that, and they do it enough. Sometimes there's certain feelings that develop or whatever, and you start to grow a different type of attraction to that person that you never had. And that's something that's not done on purpose. So my definition of attraction is a force that's not artificially made and it's not forced, but it is a force that you can't help. It's a force that you can't help feel. And it could be that you see something and right off the bat you're attracted to it as a person. You can see another person and say, man, that's an attractive person. And there's different levels, right? There's different levels of attraction, in my opinion. I think that when it comes to attraction, you just have to understand it's something that you can't help. You just can't help what or who you're attracted to. It's just what it is. It's just what it is. So, Christina, thank you for the question. I appreciate it. I don't know if that was a good enough opinion, but that's my opinion. Yeah. Don't write me saying you didn't answer my question because these are just opinions. Don't hit me with nothing like
you have failed this city.
So I don't don't hit me with that. Next question. Last question. Oh, this is gonna be perfect too, because we've only been streaming now for maybe 45-50 minutes. So this is going to be perfect because I don't want this to be too much longer than an hour. I know people have things to do. Cam, C-A-M, Cam, last initial A. So Cam A. What things do you like / not like about social media? Okay. Let's start with the things that I don't like first. The negative, end with the positive. What I don't like about social media is I don't like how social media makes people feel about themselves. Is it social media's fault? No, it's not. But what I don't like about social media is social media gives people, or it basically enables people to feel like shit about themselves on a lot of different levels, right? If you're an Instagram person or a Facebook person or whatever else social media you're on, and if you're a female and you see other females that might have a certain body type that you want, and because you see that, it makes you feel like crap because when you look in the mirror, that's not what you see. Now, again, that's not social media's fault, but I don't like that aspect of social media. It's not social media's fault at all. but I don't like how people compare themselves to others on social media. Guys do it too. It's not just women. Guys do it too. And then you set yourself up for failure. Excuse me. Because when you see something that you think you should look like, or you think you should be, or the lifestyle that you think you should live over and over and over, and you're not that, it's almost like somebody constantly telling you you're not good enough. In fact, that's exactly what it is. It's just you telling yourself, I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. Guess what? You say that enough times, you're going to start believing the bullshit. You're going to start believing the hype. And then you're just going down the rabbit hole of a bunch of stuff that's just going to pile itself on. And before too long, you're just going to be depressed about everything. About everything. This guy drives this car. This girl looks like this. He's tall. I'm short. He's in shape, and I'm fat, and this, that, and the other. Like, all these things you can control. You can control how you look. If that's what your kick is, if that's what your insecurity is on how you look compared to what you're looking at on Instagram or whatever the social media you're on, stop comparing yourself, I would say, for one. But for two, if you don't like the way you look, do something about it, and don't make excuses as to why you can't. Number one problem I see constantly: oh, I've tried everything. Well, no, you haven't, because if you tried everything, you would have been successful. What it is you might have tried a lot of things, but you didn't stick with it. You did it for a week and you didn't see the results that you wanted, and so you gave up. Change doesn't happen that fast, y'all. It doesn't. And it never will. It takes hard work to get to where you want to go with anything. With anything. Anything. It's hard work. It's just consistency. It's consistency. Oh, I've tried everything. I don't know, man. I can't lose weight. I've tried. And I've tried. And look, I've been there before, especially with the weight loss thing. But you know what I did? I finally just told myself, just keep going. Just keep going. I know a lot of people hear it all the time. Trust the process. I'm here to tell you, just keep going. Just keep going. Keep showing up. Even on days that you don't feel like it. Just keep going. That's what I don't like about social media. Now, what I do like about social media is social media gives you a platform, which could be good or bad, right? But social media gives you a platform to speak your mind. It gives you a platform to connect with other people. It gives you a platform to help other people. It gives you a platform to find other like-minded people. You don't have to feel so alone on on social media for people that feel alone. Plus, social media, the internet in general, just the internet in general is amazing. Information at your fingertips. As soon as you want to know something, type it in, you know it. When I was a kid, there would be no way. There'd be no way. You have to go to the library, look in the card catalog. I'm telling you right now, a lot of you youngsters have no idea what a card catalog is. But you go to the library, you look at the card catalog, and it tells you what number, what row it's in. and you go find it and you read about it. That's how you found out about stuff, at least for me, because I'm a bookworm and I love to read books. And I'm just a nerd like that. And I grew up a how, what, and why kid all the time. So I would read books. If I wanted an answer to something, I would go find it. But nowadays, information's at your fingertips because Google knows everything. Literally everything. Now, I will say that every once in a while you have to cross-check what you're looking up. Make sure what you're looking up is legit. But, I mean, other than that, yeah. That's what things do you like or not like about social media? Yeah, that's what I do like. I like the simple fact that you can find information right away. I'm a space nerd, so I love space. As you can tell behind me, I love space. It fascinates me. It fascinates me that there's this huge empty void that we're just floating around in. And it's endless so far. From what they know, it's endless. And it's ever expanding. It's just crazy to me. It's crazy to me. But I've always had that love for it. And I tell you right now, I'd probably be an astrophysicist if I had the internet when I was a kid. Because boy, I looked up everything on space. Planets, stars, black holes, dark matter, space-time. Different types of relativity. The 5 compounds of the universe found in space are the same things we're made of. Like it's so weird. Do you know how many things, sorry, I don't mean to go off into a nerd moment, but do you know how many things had to go right for us to even be here right now? Right now, right this minute. Right this minute. Insane. They say that the universe is 13.8 billion years old. $13.8 billion years. That's sorry, just answer more questions. That's incredible to me. It's insane. 13.8 billion years. That's how old the universe is. And when you say universe, you can't fathom how big it is because we're human. We can't fathom what a billion is, let alone 13.8 of them. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's what I like about social media. Connection, information, the energy exchange between people. Like right now, if I wanted to talk to somebody from Istanbul for whatever reason, I can go find somebody from Istanbul. I don't know why that shit's so hard to say. But I can find somebody from Istanbul and talk to them and be like, what's your culture like? I love your name. Your name's a little different. You can learn about things, learn how things are. It's amazing. The internet itself is amazing, but it's also very scary. Social media, amazing. It's an amazing tool, but it's also a scary tool. As I said before, it gives you a platform to speak your mind, just as I'm doing now. It gives you a platform to speak your mind. It gives you a platform to help others, educate others, be there for others if you can't physically be there for others. But also on the flip side, y'all, everybody has a platform. Sometimes that's not good. Sometimes that ain't good. Depending on what's being talked about and what's being absorbed, so I just there's a lot of times where social media, I'll see things on social media that just doesn't make sense to me, and I'll be like, this dude, really, this is what you think? I don't judge them because I don't want people to judge me for the way I think. Sometimes I'm blown away by how people process certain things. But that doesn't mean that they're bad people. That's just how they think. Either accept it or you don't. But then you have those people that if you don't think exactly how they think, they get angry. And it's almost like
Let's get ready to rumble!
It's almost like that. Like, let's get ready to rumble. And I got to tell you, the thing about it is when it comes to stuff like that, I have the mindset of like,
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah, ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. So, those are the things that I like and don't like about social media. All right, guys. Those are the 6 questions, and those are my opinions on those 6 questions. So I hope it helped whoever watched. And if you're watching this on YouTube, and not live like you should, on Twitch TV or twitch.tv/the D Johnson, right? Look me up. Watch it live before I have to edit the video and then put it up on YouTube the next day, because I guess I have to wait 24 hours because that's the rules for some damn reason. But anyway, y'all, I appreciate it. It's always a pleasure for me to be able to do this. I know I'm not the best at it, and some days I fall short and I'm like, but that's okay. We learn every day. We learn every single day, and we try to get better. But when we do something to where we reach where we're trying to reach, and as long as you're happy with what you're doing, like, it's not the most exciting stream in the world right here. And I understand that. I get it. I'm still trying to learn the ins and outs and everything. I don't care about having, 20,000 people watching me all at once. That it doesn't matter to me. Because again, I'm not into like the superficial, how many followers do you have, this, that, and the other. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's cool to know that there's people out there that value your opinion and all of that kind of stuff. But don't base what your don't base your who you are on someone else's opinion. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. Don't base your worth on someone else's opinion. That's what I'm trying to say. Other than that, guys, no worries. It's always, this is the part that I really don't like, because I wish I could just stream for hours and hours and hours, and down the road I probably will, which will be way more exciting than this. But again, I'm just learning the ins and outs of this whole thing called Twitch, and this whole thing of Streamlabs, and the whole thing of bits and emotes and all this other stuff. I don't understand. I don't get it. But just remember that here in a couple days,
I'll be back.
I definitely will be back, and we'll make things happen. But thanks for hanging out with me. I definitely appreciate it. And one thing I always want you to remember:
the first rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club. The second rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club.
Very true. Live by it, y'all. And as always, love yourself so we can love others. I'm out. Peace.